Hi, my name is Mike McGinnis, and I'm going to demonstrate some of the features of the iPad. First, I apologize for the video quality. There's no real elegant way to produce a video from the iPad without investing in some additional hardware. So we're just going to do it this way with the camera on a tripod and the lights off so that you can see the screen. And I'm going to assume that you don't know anything about the iPad. So we're going to start from the beginning. There are several documents located in your Dropbox that go through some of the things that I'm going to quickly talk about here. But there are some things that you just can't illustrate very well in a two-dimensional paper document. You have to see it to fully understand how it works. First, the iPad consists of multiple screens of applications, and you can move through the screens simply by taking your finger and swiping across the surface of the iPad. Next, you can change the orientation of the iPad from landscape to portrait, and it will readjust the display according to how you're holding the iPad. Now, you can turn that feature off if you find that annoying, and that is found in the settings. Your icons may be in a different location than the icons I have on my iPad because you can move them around. And to do that, let's say for example I have an application that I want to rely on heavily, I'm going to access frequently, and so I want to put that on a main screen. Here's one that I use frequently. It's Docs2Go. I'd like to move that icon here on the home page. So what I'll do is I'll tap and hold on that icon. Notice all the icons start to jiggle and dance, and they've got a little X up in the upper left hand corner. If you click that X, it will delete that application from your iPad. So don't do that. Instead, simply tap and hold on the icon you wish to move. Notice it stops dancing and becomes transparent, and now I can drag that icon to the edge of the screen, and then the page switches, and I can then drop that icon that I would like it to be in. To stop the jiggling, I click the home button, and now all the icons have stopped dancing. There's another one in here that I rely on heavily, and that's Notes Plus. I'm going to click and hold again till all of the icons begin to dance and jiggle, and then I'll grab that icon and drag it to the home page and let go. That's how you can move the icons from one screen to another. It's also possible to create folders. So for example, all of the icons that I might use for work, I might want to group them together. So I can simply take the icons, again, hold it until they start to jiggle and dance, and then drop one icon on another. That creates a folder for me. The iPad is smart enough to identify the type of applications that I've dropped together, and it names that folder Productivity. I can rename that folder if I'd like to by clicking the X here and renaming that to whatever I'd like. And then I can click Done. I tap in the open space, and now I see my folder. It doesn't really look like a folder, it still looks like a square icon with two smaller icons inside. I'm going to also drag this icon, that application, into that folder. Now, when I want to access any of those icons, I click that folder and it shows me the three icons that are in there, or the three applications that are in there. I can continue to add additional icons by doing the same thing. Click and hold until the icons dance and jiggle, and then drag and drop the icons onto that folder. We're going to open up Mail. And in Mail, you can scroll on your list here and look at all of your emails. They are in conversation view. So if I click on an email that has a number next to it, this indicates that there are two emails in this conversation. I can click on that and I can see either of those two emails. Now if I want to create an email, there's an icon up here which is a square with a pencil in it. This is a consistent icon which you will find in many of the applications on the iPad. If you simply touch that icon, that creates a new message. So I can start to enter any information. Let's say I want to send an email to Mike Tucker. I start typing in his name, and since I've synced my iPad to my email account, all my contacts, my email, and my calendar are all synced to my iPad. So Mike Tucker comes up, and I can just click on his name to address the email to him. And then I can go ahead and I can begin typing my message. One thing that I'd like to point out that's kind of a hidden feature is there are many keys on the iPad which serve multiple purposes. For example, if I click and hold on the question mark, I get quotation marks, and I can simply select quotation marks by holding down that key. Another one, for example, would be the E. If I click and hold on the E, I can choose from any of these E's with different accent marks and insert that into my email. There are many of those keys, many of these keys have that feature, and you basically just have to go through and check to see which keys do have hidden characters. Many of them do. Now this is consistent again throughout any application in which you can type. And I'm going to cancel that and delete that draft. Let's look at the browser for a moment. If we go to the browser, we can access here. I was doing a little shopping for a grill gazebo, so I'm not standing out in the scorching sun grilling. And here again I have a box with an arrow in it. Now that box with an arrow, if I touch that, gives me some additional choices or some options. I can print if I have printing enabled on my iPad, which we'll go into a little bit later. I can email this link to myself or someone else, or I can add a bookmark, add to home screen. I can do a lot of different things. This icon here with the number 8 next to it, if I click on that, that shows me all of the windows that I've had open recently. And if I want to create a new page, I click on the new page. I can come up here and I can type in any address. Again, .com, if I click and hold, I get a choice of .net, .org, .com, .us, .edu. So that's easier, it's quicker. Once you become accustomed to where those hidden characters are and those hidden options, then typing out the whole .net or .org. I can just click and hold and select it. Type go or hit go, and I access that web page. This allows me to add bookmarks, edit my bookmarks. You'll want to play around with these features. It's a very fast browser and it's a very nice browser. Okay. Another feature of the iPad, which is something that you probably could discover on your own eventually after playing around with it. But let's say, for example, that I want to launch an application and I've got pages and pages of apps that I don't want to search through. I can scroll to the right, which brings up a search, and I can type in Dropbox, and I only need a few characters, and it comes up here. I can click that and launch that application. That way you're not searching for the application. It's a quick launcher. Again, if you go to the right and start typing in the app that you want, you find the app and you tap that app and that app launches. And that's a game. That's an addicting game.